Let me begin by saying this story is pure fiction, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen. It is inspired by my experiences working in an old hospital, and some of the patients I saw there, and the daydreams I would sometimes have. This particular story is fiction, and I hope it stays that way. On the first floor of the hospital is the med-surg. This is where the majority of inpatients are admitted for long-term care. At the far end of the main hall, opposite the lobby and elevators, is a series of rooms isolated from the main section. This area has been reserved for infectious patients, to minimize cross-contamination with other patients, but that wasn't always the case. Back during a time when this hospital was considered the main hospital for the area, it was always crowded, and all rooms were full, and used daily. However, in the present, this hospital is considered a small charity hospital, picking up a handful of local patients, while the majority of patients are sent to other, larger and more modern hospitals. On most days, the hospital is fairly quiet and easygoing, caring for only a handful of patients at any given time. Today, we pass one of those rooms, in the isolated section of med-surg, and as we walk past the room, we can hear the strained cries for help from an elderly female patient. She struggles to shout the word help, over and over, but her cries go unanswered. Nurse after nurse walk past the room, seemingly ignoring the patient. Eventually she quiets down, and falls silent while she rests. She lays there breathing heavily, staring up at the ceiling for several hours, before shouting out again. "Help, help, help me, please, someone help me," she shouts, over and over again, but no one comes to her room. Once again she quiets down, and rests in silence, blankly staring at the ceiling. This patient unfortunately suffers from dementia, and often feels confused, and forgets why she is in the hospital. When her confusion returns, her panic drives her to shout, and beg for help, until her mind fogs up again, making her quiet, as she looks on into nothingness. This patient was admitted, because she had a respiratory infection, and was being treated with antibiotics. Her dementia makes it difficult to treat her at times, because she easily becomes confused, and uncooperative, testing even the most patient of nurses. On several occasions, she had to be sedated to keep her from hurting herself, and others, when she had violent panic attacks. As soon as her infection clears up, she will be sent back to the long-term care facility where she lives. It sounds cruel, but many of these nurses look forward to the day when this particular patient will be well enough to be discharged. "Help! Help! Someone, please help me," she begins to shout loudly again. Her outbursts occur like clockwork now. And again, she is ignored. Her cries fall on deaf ears. And it may sound cruel, as if the nurses are intentionally being cold and heartless toward the needs of this patient, but the reality is far worse. This patient's cries are not being ignored, they are just unheard. Her cries are falling on deaf ears, because the nurses literally cannot hear them. This patient will never be discharged, because she passed away in her sleep years ago, sometime after she was admitted. The patient doesn't know she is dead, doesn't know why she is in that hospital room, and doesn't know why she can never leave. She is trapped in an endless cycle, alone, crying out to people that cannot hear her, cannot see her, and cannot help her. If you enjoyed this short fictional story, and would like to see more videos like it, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why not subscribe for more, and share it with a friend.